Greetings, 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 and salutations, one and all. Welcome, 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 welcome to the night shift. It's the end of the night shift week. And tonight we do a thing we call Real Talk. I want to say big ups to the reggae music entertainer himself, Mr. Marlon Borrell, host of Real Rockers. Happens every Monday and Wednesday just before my show. If you don't know about it, then you need to ask somebody. One of the wickedest... Actually, I don't know of another show like it. The man is a walking, talking music, reggae music encyclopedia. Trust and believe. I want to say big ups to all those who have it locked in rockthebox.net and affiliates around the globe. Foundation Radio Network. If you're hailing from across the pond, top of the morning to you. Yeah, because it's morning over there. And of course, if you have it locked right here, kevinstew.com. Big ups, big ups, big ups those who have it locked on PEMGTV.com. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Glad to have you all. Couldn't do it without you. And believe me, I wouldn't even want to try. I want to say special with a sh, not a s. Special thanks to Policy Media Group for sponsoring this initial segment, this first segment of the show. And being in a moment is priceless. You want to give them a call or link them online, pulseemg.com. You can call them at 754-999-6020. Tell them, me, DJ Kevin Stew, I sent you. Kicking it off with some Ricardo Drew and Second Star. It's called Wayward. I guess if you're gonna be wayward, you need to go all out, yeah?
Make everyone see girl never and everyone agree. Yeah, so do that thing never me. Girl, my eyes set on you like a target. I want pull up on you like a magnet. I'm wondering, girl, if you have it. Like a look and I see the body's girl. So baby girl, roll the bambala. Do that thing, girl, roll the bambala. Second song, you in combination. We love the nation, girl, look at woman. Look around, look around. Everybody, having fun, having fun. Look at woman, look around, look around. Working it just like you should. Fire sap when you rub it. There's plenty friction on the wood. We going until the party done. Right with the moon, set with the sun. If you see me falling on the ground, it must be zero. Tell me how you live it. We gon' live it up. If the thing needs turning, we gon' turn it up. One thing we not giving, we not giving on. We going on.
I wonder what's going on over here. Some strange things happening on this player. I think I need some brighter lights. Because these gremlins here get bossy. But like I said, if you're gonna do it, go all out, right? No behavior, no behavior, no behavior at all. You're well wayward. But I ain't mad at you. You know, everybody has to have their little bit of flaws. And if that is your only flaw, that you're a little wayward, you know, who am I to say X, Y, or Z? Yay, nay, or anything else for that matter. Because we're all a little bit wayward at some point in time, right? So as you can see from the topic for the night right here, we're looking at dealing with disrespectful children. And this is one of those topics that could go a number of ways. Unfortunately for us, it can only go the right way. That's the only way we can go. So, we know that children can be disrespectful at times. But sometimes it's actually when they're in situations that they dislike, or if they're dealing with other things in their lives. And you might think, you know, they're children, what kind of problems could they be having? But they're people too. Most of the time, children just want to get your attention. They want to test the boundaries. The most important thing to remember when dealing with children is to stay calm and act respectfully toward them. Now, that can be a little challenging sometimes. That can be a little challenging sometimes. Just got a message. I got you. But try to identify why the children are acting a certain way and talk it through maturely with them if you can. Now, it's not that you're talking it through maturely that they would be mature in the conversation. You're actually talking it through with you being mature as the adult in the conversation or in the situation. So we're gonna look at this in a few different ways, or take it from a few different angles. Good evening to you, guest 441. That's in my neck of the woods. That's a road very nearby and very prominent. So let's see where you take us tonight, guest 441. But firstly, we're going to look at dealing in the moment as a parent. So I did a little bit of research. I came up. I got some articles that I came across, and I'm going to be presenting from a few of these. Now, dealing in the moment as a parent when it comes to disrespect. Whew. I don't even know how to say that, because as a parent myself, I know how I feel when other people's children disrespect me. My own, That's like a life altering moment right there. And it would be more along the lines of their lives being altered than mine. You know what I mean? Some people can relate to that or relate to me with that more than others. But here's what some say. I won't say some experts, but here's what some say. Point out the behavior right away. If a child is being disrespectful, you should acknowledge the behavior right then and there. Ignoring the behavior will encourage them to continue until they get your attention. As an example, let's say you're trying to talk on the phone. Your child is interrupting you continually. You can say something like, I know you're trying to get my attention, but I'm a little busy right now, so you're just going to have to wait and be quiet for a moment. This, they say, shows your child that you see what they're doing, and it allows you to explain what the child should do instead. No. Let's be realistic. Or was that being realistic? Whose reality though? Because some of these children here, you could tell them that till you're blue in the face. That doesn't work. Another thing, give the child a reason. No, when I look at something like that or I hear something like that, I immediately think I am going to explain to them my reason for X, Y, or Z. Why? Well, here's what they say. If you tell a child to stop with no explanation, your child may not see the reason to stop. Once you have identified what your child is doing, explain to your child why their behavior is wrong or disrespectful. This now will help your child to understand the necessity of good manners. Going back to the example given just now with the phone. Your child continues to interrupt. You say, I'm on the phone. It's not nice to interrupt me when I'm trying to talk to someone else, as I'm unable to give the person I'm talking to my full attention. You can also suggest an alternative behavior. For example, say something like, can you wait for a pause in the conversation if you really need something? No. Because you have to look at both sides of this. Yes, I get it. Whatever it is that the child is asking you or trying to get your attention for may not be that important to you, but at that point in time to that child, it is the most important thing to them. So, where do you strike the balance? By the way, numbers to get you in touch: 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. That's the number to call, number to text. Of course, the chat room is available at kevinstew.com. Now, the next thing they recommend is to explain the consequences. If you try to talk rationally with disrespectful children and they still continue to misbehave, this is where it gets interesting. Consequences. You need to explain the consequences of their actions. Then, if they continue to disrespect you, make sure you carry out the consequence. You see, you don't want to tell your child that there are consequences for doing something and not follow through on that. If children are told that they're going to get in trouble and then they don't, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to continue doing what they're doing. Make sure you let them know there's a consequence that can definitely be carried out. For the most impact, it is recommended that you choose consequences that are directly related to the behavior in your child that you want to change. So don't just arbitrarily give a consequence. Let them know why it is, or what they're being punished for. Now, you also want to discipline appropriately. If you have to discipline a child, make sure you do so as is deemed fit. Because not all forms of punishment work, and punishment type depends on the age of the child and the severity of the behavior. Isolation or physical forms of punishment are discouraged. And I know what some of you are saying. Hold on. Let's hear this out first. They say do not send a child to their room or give a spanking. Wait. Physical punishment can be frightening for a child. Well, you would think that in part that's what you want to do. And especially for young children, it is quite frightening, or can be. And physically isolating the child misses an opportunity to help them develop. Ideally, punishment should teach children how to connect, communicate, and work through negative behaviors. Isolating a child does not allow them to come to terms with why the behavior was wrong. Wait. Don't roll your eyes just yet. Try to think less in terms of discipline and more in terms of consequences. Choose consequences that make sense. Taking away a favorite toy may not really teach a child why interrupting your conversation is wrong. You should also apply consequences immediately after the behavior occurs. Make sure the consequence of a child's behavior reflects why it was wrong. Here's an example. If your child is interrupting you on the phone, the behavior is bad because it's disrespectful to your time. You might have the child do a small chore you would normally do, like doing the dishes. And this is to show them that your time is valuable, as you're very busy with household tasks and work. Alright, let's go ahead and break this down bit by bit. First of all, sending your child to their room or giving them a spanking is not an encouraged form of punishment. The room part I can understand, because inside that room are the very things that you gave that child as rewards. So all their toys are there. If there's a TV, there's a TV there. So sending them to their room is not necessarily punishment. Spanking. Now, I grew up in an era where a lot of the Bible is used, and spare the rod, spoil the child, that kind of a thing was big. And it wasn't only parents that got the opportunity to mete out a necessary form of punishment by way of spanking. Alright, so spanking is not a good form of punishment. But if that child grows up and does something semi-illegal, is disruptive to, by way of the law, participate in a riot, for example, or a demonstration, not necessarily a riot, a demonstration, and part of the group may get rowdy, and here comes law enforcement with batons. You do something wrong, you're going to get hit. Would you prefer law enforcement hitting you as an adult to an adult, or would you prefer being hit as a child out of love for something that you did? Now, I personally don't necessarily agree with the not spanking part. I had gotten spanked as a child, and I am no worse off for it. Yes, I don't spank my children currently because I don't need to. When they were younger, I only had to do it a couple times. I don't need to do it anymore. Mission accomplished. Is it out of fear of the spanking, or is it out of fear that spanking is a consequence? Or is it that it is a learned behavior that this kind of consequence is not fun? I have not seen to date where spanking has done a negative job with children. But they say spanking is frowned upon and it doesn't help the child. I disagree. I think it does help. It helps both the child and the parent. It helps the parent because they know that they have meted out this kind of punishment that they won't necessarily have to mete out again. To see how that works? Because even as parents, it's not like we take joy. Well, some do. But the more normal among us, we don't take joy in spanking our kids. I didn't understand the phrase, this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you, until I myself became a parent. That was when I really understood it. Because here is a child that you would never want to see anything happen to. You don't want to see them crying, you don't want to see them hurting, nothing like that. However, as a parent, what drives you a little bit more than wanting your child to be comforted all the time is recognizing that they need to know what is right from wrong. And sometimes that is how to do it. In my opinion, you may not agree, and that's fine. 773-789-7839 gives you an opportunity to share that you don't agree, that is. But you call, you text, you let me know how you feel about it. And we can continue the discussion. Now, as it relates to isolation, you take away the opportunity for that child to be out socializing. And again, in my opinion, mission accomplished. I'm not saying you don't tell them that what they're doing is wrong. But you explain that there's a consequence and they continue to push the envelope. Well, okay, push the envelope. See what happens. Alright, so 26 minutes after though, do I want to go into the other part right now? The part of dealing with it as a teacher, responding to that disrespect as a teacher. Alright. We're going to take the break first. When we come back from the break, we can look at responding in the moment as a teacher. But let me hear from you. Guess 441. What's your take on it? Isolation, spanking. It's the same reason why they say don't put a child in timeout, because it doesn't help the child to recognize that they did something wrong. Yes, it does. It's the very same way we train animals. Oh, so how we train animals, that's inhumane? Are you saying that what we're doing to our children is inhumane, so we shouldn't do that, and the way we train animals is so different? Oh, so the child is not an animal. But that's the basis of what mammals are, and we're mammals. We're animals. We're just a higher level of animals. So why should the method of learning be different? Just because we're more intelligent beings? Okay, cool. I get it. We're more intelligent beings. But when you say to a child, especially a young child, don't do that, it'll hurt you. Don't do that, it'll hurt you. And you see them keep doing it, and you slap them on the hand. Which one is worse? You slapping them on the hand, or them touching that thing that is going to cause major damage that will put them in the hospital? Which one is more damaging? You're saying that my slapping that child on the hand is going to cause such emotional trauma that it will ruin them for life? I think not. But that's what I don't even want to say that's what the professionals say. That's what these people say. And it may work for some, but I can tell you, in my experience with dealing with some children, you say to them, please stop that because you will get hurt. When that child doesn't listen and they get hurt, especially if it's not your child, remember that parent is coming down on you with the wrath beyond wraths. You would think that it's the Almighty Himself. Okay, so I started with conversation do not. If the child chooses to ignore the warning, they felt pain from me. The hand slapping, the spanking, and it worked. Yeah, of course it worked. So my question is, why now do we get told, oh, no, you don't want to do that? For what? So that the system can do it? I'd rather do it myself, thank you very much. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we talk some more. We're going to be looking at how... First, we looked at how to deal with the moment of disrespect as a parent. We're going to look at how to deal with it as a teacher. And now, understand this. Teachers are not just in classrooms. If you interact with a child for anything that's a teachable moment, you're a teacher. We'll be right back after these few messages. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more. It's Real Talk. Call your friends. Tell your friends. Share this on social media. You can share right here from kevinstew.com. Just hover over the video and the share icon comes up. Click on it and you're off. Share it wherever you want. Share it as many times as you want. I want to hear from you guys. We'll be right back.
Pulse Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulse Media Group.
Are you crazy about the music industry? You aspire to hit it big in music? Or maybe you've sweated out a soulful killer beat and are now stuck finding it's not as easy as it looked. Oh, but it can be easy for you with JTMC. We've been there, we know how it feels, so we solve challenges like production, promotion, marketing, branding and development, and more. With over 30 years of experience, JTMC is a one-stop shop for artists. We handle your graphic design, writing services, PR, as well as event planning, e-blasts, artist management and bookings, so also your website and social media needs as well. We're experts in using creativity to persuade audiences on behalf of artists, drawing on our diverse experience to create projects that connect with audiences intellectually and emotionally. Artist success is everything to us, and our years of experience and commitment will be behind you for every one of your needs. If you've got music for the world to hear, whether you're a new or established artist, visit us at jtmcenterprise.com.
RDB Entertainment Group invites you to expand your reach with advertising. Right now, you're being offered 60-second ads, blog on the station site, rockthebox.net, song distribution, interviews, all for a summer special of $125 per week. And that's based on a 60-day contract. Give them a call. It's the home of the most syndicated Caribbean formatted online radio, rockthebox.net, with 41 affiliate stations globally. Give them a call. 954-613-3851. That's 954-613-3851. Or give JTMC Enterprise LLC an email at jtmcenterprisellc@gmail.com. Drop them a line. Let them know you're interested in letting your voice be heard, expanding your reach through advertising. We also want to big up and make note of Hopeton Lindo's all-white birthday celebration coming up on Saturday, July 21st, 2018. On stage will be Hopeton Penn Lindo himself, Everton Blender, Aldenton Malvo, and there are going to be some special surprise guests passing through. This all happens with music being provided by Waggy T, King Waggy T, not just regular Waggy T, King Waggy T, and C. Roy the Entertainer. Ladies are free before 11 p.m. So ladies, you want to get out there early. And remember, it's an all-white affair. It happens at the Garden. So you definitely don't want to miss out on this event. The Garden is in Lauderdale Lakes. For those of you who are wondering, the event flyer will be posted on kevinstew.com. It just won't be posted today. Well, it will be posted later on. I'm just playing. It will be posted on kevinstew.com. So do check it out. Do please check it out. And this segment is brought to you courtesy of GMAC Music Solutions. I lost my GMAC flyer. GMAC Music Solutions, bringing music to life, providing you with stage and sound production services, musical equipment, PA systems, audio engineers, audio equipment, band, musicians, you name it. They can hook you up. Give them a call, 754-307-GMAC, 754-307-4622. Tell them that you heard it right here on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stewart. Anybody that I send you to and you call my name, trust and believe. You're gonna get special treatment if you don't call my name. You get extra special treatment if you do. I promise you. Alright? So, getting back into it. Well, not back into the discussion. I need to give you a little bit of pep up first.
Boom, just show me your worst behavior.
22 to the hour.
Show me your worst behavior.
Yeah, 22 minutes to the top of the hour.
Show me your worst behavior.
So the Skinny Fabulous.
Stop the bacchanal. Party turn upside down. Beer box renting too. And the girls them whining down. Alcohol and me winding up on the ground. Alcohol and me friend them. I cause the most problem. I come here to stand the bacchanal and throw me on them. I'm gonna wine for the girl them and create a problem. I'll be having bad and waving me hand. Oh, I behave in the worst. I behave in the worst. I behave in the worst. I behave in the them not bad like skinny for me no size the worst. I behave in the worst. I behave in the worst. I behave in the. No, everybody jump up and show me your worst behavior. Jump up with your worst behavior. Wind up with your worst behavior. Jump up with your worst behavior. Down the road, worst behavior. Wind up with your worst behavior. Jump up, show me worst behavior. Wind up with your worst behavior. Down the road, madness down in the soul. Them know send me back to the bone. So whenever me touch the road, it's crazy behavior and strong from overload. Boy, so just show me the hand them, and then we create a problem. So come there we start the bacchanal and show up we and them. I wanna see all of the girl them start to wine for the man them. We behaving bad and we're friendly rod. Boy, I behave in the worst. I behave in the worst. I behave in the worst. I behave in the. Them not bad like skinny for me no size the worst. I behave in the worst. I behave in the worst. I behave in the. Now everybody jump up and show me your worst behavior. Jump up with your worst behavior. Wind up with your worst behavior. Jump up with your worst behavior. Down the road, worst behavior. Wind up with your worst behavior. Jump up, show me worst behavior. Wind up with your worst behavior. Just show me your worst behavior. Show me your worst behavior. Show me your worst behavior. Stop the bacchanal. Just show me your
Encouraging you to show me your worst behavior. 773-789-STEW. Let's see how bad y'all can get.
Stop the bacchanal.
No, it's not that kind of a show, but Skinny Fabulous made me do it. It's called BTW, Behaving the Worst. Alright, so I don't know. I just trying to see what kind of trouble I can get into tonight. Or what kind of trouble I can get out of. Because I'm always getting into trouble. So let me see what kind of trouble I can get out of tonight. We are going back into our discussion, into our information. And don't be shy. 773-789-STEW. Worst behavior. Welcome tonight. Let me see if I can discipline anyone here. Alright, so responding to a disrespectful moment or in a disrespectful moment as a teacher. Tell the child what he or she is supposed to do. Now, if you as a teacher is going to say to a child, hey, this should be your behavior as it relates to this time at this place, then something is fundamentally wrong. Because that child should be coming with certain basics to wherever you are. Right? Wrong or right? As a teacher, especially if you're working with young children, they're saying that it's better to offer an alternative behavior than scold a child for disobedience. Provide direct, clear instructions on how a child should behave when you see him or her behaving poorly. Now, they say, as an example, when a child is behaving, as an example, you're on a field trip to a swimming pool and you see one of your students running through the water. Well, if it's a swimming pool and they're in the water and they're running, they can't be going too fast or anything like that. But if they're running around the pool now, that's different. Try say, hey, let's say the child is Johnny, because Johnny always gets in trouble. Johnny, no running. Well, they said actually don't say Johnny, no running. They say walk in and don't run because it's safer that way. Because then you'll avoid falling and getting hurt. Alright. Now it's time for my soapbox moment. They say children tend to be more receptive to being told what to do rather than simply being scolded for bad behavior. Now, here we go. You say, Johnny, no running. As an adult, you giving a child this directive, you have to turn around and explain why you're giving that directive. Does what at that point? It now tells that child that you need to explain to them why they shouldn't do what they're doing, versus saying that versus that child knowing that, and this is just my opinion, this dispute right, dispute all you want. This is my opinion. You speak to that child and that child doesn't listen. Just what right is said in the chat room right there. By the time you have that conversation with Johnny, that Johnny probably already broke an arm, a neck, a leg, or only one neck, right? Either way, Johnny would have already hurt himself versus stop. And because before going to the pool, there are certain rules that you would need to explain to the child or the children about going to the pool. And in that explanation, you then go through safety rules. So for me, this right here about saying, well, you want to walk because it's safer that way and you'll avoid falling and getting hurt. Cool. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with when that conversation is happening. That is something that needs to happen prior to going to the pool. You don't have that conversation at the pool while the child is running around the pool deck. No. If you're having that conversation at that time, it is too late. But again, if you see it differently, feel free to say so. 773-789-7839. You can call, you can text. Let me know. You can jump in the chat room, kevinstew.com. Tell me how you feel about it. So they say the child tends to be more receptive to being told what to do rather than being scolded for bad behavior. You already told the child what to do, and they're still doing it. So you tell them again, and you keep telling and keep telling and keep telling, and don't scold. Is that how we build a an effective community? Is that how we build upstanding or encourage upstanding citizenship? Boy. Another suggestion for responding in the moment as a teacher is to try a time in. Because timeouts are no longer a popular disciplinary practice for young children, as isolating a child can be frustrating. Alright. So, isolating that child is frustrating for whom? It's not frustrating for me as a teacher. It cannot be. The child is supposed to be frustrated because they're doing something that is outside of what is expected. So why should the child be comfortable? I don't get it. When an individual does a crime and goes to jail, are they still a part of the society to which they committed the crime against? They're isolated from that community. Even better, while incarcerated and they do something, they're put in isolation. So, do we now say isolation is a horrible thing when it's a criminal in prison? Somebody explain that to me. Why is there a double standard? Anyway, they're saying isolating a child can be frustrating. However, a time in can remove a child from a distressful situation. If you suspect one of your students is behaving poorly due to stress or overexertion, purpose a time in. Okay. Create private, cozy areas of your classroom where students can sit and relax if they're being disruptive. Provide pillows, photo albums, books, stuffed toys, and other calming supplies. This is how you provide a time in, by the way. The basic idea is that the child is not being punished. He is simply, or her, she, is simply learning that they need to regulate emotions better if they want to participate in class. They are not being isolated in an unfriendly environment, as in traditional timeout, but rather being placed in an alternative environment where they can calm down. Please, officer, when I am disruptive, please take me to the beach and get me a nice umbrella and put me in the shade on a comfortable beach chair so that I can reconsider or reevaluate, my actions and calm down. Can we do that? Thank you very much, 441. You provide this comfortable environment for this child to be in when they're disruptive. Then everybody will be disruptive because they want to be in that comfortable environment also. Really? Yeah, I have to say. I have to say. Anyway, they were saying, remember, discipline should be a learning opportunity. When you have a spare moment, address the child. Talk to them about why the behavior was disruptive. Brainstorm ideas together on how to better cope the next time they get emotionally or rowdy. They get emotional or rowdy in the class. Now, while this approach is often used at school, parents could benefit from a time in as well. Because if you're a parent trying to have a designated time and space in your home where your child can go to calm down if they're struggling to regulate their emotions, will work. Will work in what community? Seriously? The idea, as far as I know it, is simple. You spare the rod, you spoil the child. If something is spoilt, can it be good? I don't see how something spoilt is good. I'm sorry. If somebody else can show me another way to view this, I'd gladly accept it. So stay positive. Use positive statements and avoid negatives. Okay. Let me see where they're going with this. Children may be disrespectful if they feel they're being disrespected. Yeah. That pause was intentional. Don't use statements like, I'm not going to help you with that problem until you try to work it out yourself. This will make the child feel that they've done something wrong by struggling. Instead, say, I think you'll learn more if you try to work out the problem yourself first. Once you do that, I can try to help you. Using statements that are positive will reinforce the idea that you respect the child and are treating them like an adult. Alright. That is a part of the problem, in my opinion. Again, this is just my opinion. If you agree or disagree, please let me know. KevinStew.com has a chat room. 773-789-STEW is a number to call or text. Using statements that are positive will reinforce the idea that you respect the child and you're treating them like an adult. Why would I want to treat this child like an adult? If you're saying I'm treating the child like I'm an adult, then that is one thing. But treating the child like they're an adult, that is how you compound problems. Now, it's either that my way of thinking is archaic and basic, or something is wrong with this presentation of information. How is it that we can maintain respect in our society by our children towards our adults if it is things like this that we have to deal with? How? So you say to a child, I'm not going to help you with that until you try it yourself. That is so negative. You should just say, I think you'll learn more if you try to work out the problem yourself first. Okay, I get it. That's saying the very same thing and placing the emphasis on the child versus you, with saying, I will not help you. You're saying, I believe you will learn more if you try to work out the problem. You're empowering the child now to say, okay, I can do it, or I can try it. Here is another problem with that. That child is going to say, I don't feel like doing this, to themselves. They wait a few minutes and then they say to you, I tried it, but I just don't get it. I can't do it. Can you help me or do it for me, please? No. How many teachers do you think fell for that one? A lot. If I am a teacher, I am not falling for that. Or as a teacher, I'm not falling for that. Treating a child like an adult kind of makes them disrespectful, doesn't it? I believe they do. It does. I don't want a child treating me as a peer, but as an elder. Exactly. Why would I want to try to let this child know or feel like we're on the same level? We are not on the same level. As a matter of fact, we're not even friends. I care about you. I care about your development. But my friends are in my age group. As a teacher, I am here to teach you, not to make you feel comfortable. Teaching isn't always a comfortable thing. A learning experience isn't always a comfortable thing. And I believe that is a part of what some of the problems that we're facing right now in our society. We believe that everything must be all so comfy and cozy and sweet. Come on. So if a child treats you poorly or disrespectfully, it is suggested that you do not take it personally. Teachers often feel stressed out if children are mean to them or act out in class. It's likely the child is just trying to assert their independence or is dealing with something else, and they're just taking it out on you. See? That right there. That's that treating them as an adult bit right there. They're dealing with other things and taking it out on you. No, 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 no. That's not how it works. When I was growing up, I tried that. And I would have to go pick up my head somewhere else. That's crazy. Remember, children can often react in rash ways. Well, so can adults. Just because a child says, I hate you, that doesn't mean that it's true. Try to remember that children often disrespect their parents or authority figures as a way of testing power structures. Try not to get sidetracked. It's best to keep your focus on the behavior you want your child to improve. Alright. So, when that child says to me, I hate you, cool, I get it. It may not be true. But as a teacher, it shouldn't even really matter. Because again, you're not in that position to be their friend. So they can hate you all they want. Your job is to teach them something. If they choose not to learn it because they don't like you, what will happen, in my opinion, what will happen is when they grow up and become adults and start working, they won't work if they don't like their employer. Here's what happens at that point. If you're in my company to help me make a profit and you don't like me, so you decide you're not going to work, that's fine. You can do that. But understand, I don't have to pay you because you chose not to work. You decide. And that's the kind of thing I believe we're creating with a mindset like this. So they say, okay, if the situation is not improving, it may be time for you to get some help. Who is going to help? The child may be dealing with something and unwilling to talk to you about it. Also, something may be going on at home and they may need space to talk it out. Talk to your school's principal or counselor if you're worried a child may have an underlying issue preventing them from behaving in class. Okay. In today's society, here's what I have found. Children are aware that these concepts exist. So if they don't want to do something and something traumatic may have happened in their life, cool, I get it. But these kids are so smart. They're going to take that and milk it for what it's worth as long as they can. I have seen it happen time and time again. It's like children playing parents against each other. They do it with any adult. Oh, I'd love to go to wherever, but mommy doesn't want me to go. Let me ask daddy, because daddy will always want me to have fun and he'll even probably come. So mommy said no, go behind mommy's back, ask daddy. Daddy is cool with the idea. And next thing you know, daddy is telling mommy, okay, whistle me back, I'm taking Johnny to... And at that point now she goes, whoa, wait, what do you mean you're taking Johnny to... Johnny asked me about that and I told him, no, he can't go because we have XYZ. And you go, oh, I forgot about XYZ. But Johnny already played you. What happens at that point? Does Johnny get scolded for that? Time for another break. 5 minutes after the top of the hour, we've already drifted off into the JTMC segment. So it's time to take a quick little break. When we come back, we talk a little bit more and we look at addressing the deeper issues. Because, yeah, I understand there may be some deeper issues, but at the same time, still encouraging you. Let me know if you're behaving the worst. 773-789-STEW. Bring your friends over. Let's behave badly for the remainder of the night. We'll be right back.
The award-winning Palace Peace and Love Academic Scholarship is appealing for your support to help educate one student at a time in Jamaica and the Caribbean.
Palace awarded 492 scholarships and several computers to university and high school students in Jamaica and the Caribbean over the past 7 years, valued at approximately 33 million Jamaican dollars, $250,000 US.
Importantly, our university graduates to date include 15 medical doctors, 10 lawyers, 6 engineers, and 15 fine arts students. Our goal is to award at least 105 scholarships in 2018.
Please partner with us to make this a reality for those well-deserving, hard-working students by making a tax-deductible donation online at www.palaceone.org
or send a check to Palace, PO Box 5461, Alpharetta, Georgia 30023 USA, or telephone 770-744-2154.
Palace, preserving young minds for posterity.
It's time to get live, it's time to get lit. Spiritually powered inspirational thoughts. It's time to spit. Join Sharon Corinthian and St. Patrick every Tuesday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on 96.3 IMG Radio as they bring you poetry at its finest, featuring some of the hottest spoken word artists from around the world. It will leave you touched, moved, and inspired. Tell a friend to tell a friend and join us for the show.
JTMC Music presents the highly anticipated, much talked about, The Juggling Rhythm Volume 1. This classic rhythm takes on a new life with tracks from both established artists and introduces some incredible new voices. Get your dancing shoes ready with The Juggling Rhythm, featuring international reggae dancehall artist Mr. Vegas, alongside Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson, Jack Radix, Hezron, Dangling, Joanna Marie featuring Galaxy P, Denny Ranks featuring Jawiz, Ambalik, Christine Alicia, Yishka. Also the new sensations on the rhythm: Seal, Danger Lee, Marquis Skelenar, Zachary. Available on all digital media outlets. The Juggling Rhythm. Get it, get it, get it.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
Yes. Akar Mantino, I'm making notes right now. You are locked in to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift.
Gangsters are temporary, all just fool. Disrespect the family, you block it for school. Live with pop, my tool. The machinery, you won't go tell them it's no regular. It makes from little back, you wanna feel like propeller. We no afraid of where we up, them just like a gorilla. Put a heavy like a leg, put a light like a feather. Shot screaming at your ears like Motorola cellular. I crush your out around you like within a Rizzola. You okay, them I go down you and not take a penny for. If I want them, I defend them from the killer ready for. Man, bad to the bone. Now tell me where you come from in the fear that you told, man. Bad to the bone. Ready when you're ready, we not fear in the throne, man. Bad to the bone. Anything that brings we can defend we own, man. Bad man, make me hear the sound. We feel the fire, keep it, man, and parasite. So if I never make it, then let's call it paradise. The thing what them a do, they also run to catch a high. If them ever bring that to me, just know it's not a night. Them rap, it up, and make it like a night. So party here, the sound, and think I clap and be alive. That thing about we hit you, guaranteed to catch a fright. We name Grand Stevie, give you one and we fly, man. Bad to the bone. Now tell me where you come from in the fear that you town, man. Bad to the bone. Ready when you're ready, we not fear on the throne, man. Bad to the bone. Anything that we can defend we own, man. Bad man, make me hear the sound. Bad man, fool is a fool. Gangsta no sex, sorry, you're just fool. Disrespect the family, you're broken for school. Live with pop, my tool. Bad man, fool is a fool. Gangsta no sex, sorry, you're just fool. Disrespect the family, you're broken for school. Live with pop, my tool. The machinery, you're going to tell them it's no regular. It makes some lick up and you wanna feel like propeller. We no afraid of where we bend up, them just like a gorilla. Put a heavy like a letter, put a light like a feather.
I want to welcome you back to the show.
Bad to the bone. Now tell me where you come from in the fear that you town, man. Bad to the bone. Ready when you're ready, we not fear on the throne, man. Bad to the bone. Anything that bring we can defend we own, man. Bad man, make me hear the sound. Man, bad to the bone. Now tell me where you
T.O.K. Bounty Killer.
Bad to the bone. Ready when you're ready, we not fear on the throne, man. Bad to the bone.
Yeah, you can't go looking for that any and everywhere. It's a bad remix. Yeah, it's one of those. Back in the day when I felt creative. Yeah, it's one of those. Well, I want to welcome you back to the show. It is the JTMC sponsored segment. I want to say thanks to JTMC Enterprise for sponsoring the segment. Joanna and crew, thank you very much. And once again, condolences going out to Joanna Marie, with the loss of her cousin this week. Prayers still going out for you, Joanna. I know you're feeling it. I promise. So we continuing. 13 minutes after the hour. Boy, this show is turning out to be something, isn't it? So let's see now. We looked at dealing with disrespectful children as parents. Looked at it as dealing with it as teachers. Now, there's a part where you get to assess the deeper issues. So I guess now we're looking at it as counselors, from a counselor's perspective, right? Sometimes, just sometimes, the best means of discipline is prevention. And like they say, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. So, prevention. Try to work to foster a home or school atmosphere that prevents bad behavior. Look for things that trigger bad behavior and find ways to modify those situations to make your child more comfortable. So instead of the child working with the system that you have in place now, the system that you have in place has to work with the child. Alright. Let's go on. Because that's what I'm getting from that. What are you getting from it? 773-789-STEW gets you in touch. 773-789-7839. Or you can go to the chat room on the website, kevinstew.com. So here's what they are saying. Know what triggers a tantrum. For example, a 3-year-old may always throw a fit if you're at the grocery store for over an hour. Now, with children, the most common reason for bad behavior is that the child is hungry, tired, scared, or confused. I have seen some bad behaving children that are none of these things. So, what's the explanation at this point? Anyway, keep in mind an hour is much longer to a 3-year-old than it is to you. Is there any way you could make a trip like that more bearable? Could you allow your child to bring some toys? Could you maybe have a babysitter watch the child if you're going to be an hour or longer? Allow your child to have some control. If a child's request is not unreasonable, it's sometimes better to accommodate the request. This shows a child you respect them and also helps avoid child-parent struggles. Now pause. Why, oh why, do we need to have a child-parent struggle? Why should there be a struggle any at all? Child is a child. Parent is a parent. One is a provider, one is a consumer. It's like you don't like what the energy company is doing. You don't like the bill that you get. So you're going to throw a tantrum. Is that going to change the energy company's position on giving you a bill? I don't think so. It may change how they choose to give you service. No, because they're in it for profit. They don't really care about you. But if you push it far enough, you will end up without the service. That's guaranteed. Oh boy. So they're saying try to avoid, do things that shows your child that you respect them, to avoid the power struggles. Let's say your daughter loves her summer dress, but it's getting old. Or it's fall and it's starting to get chilly. So instead of saying, listen, you cannot wear the dress, try to allow her to wear the dress, provided that she wears a coat and pants alongside the dress. In other words, put on something more along with the dress. So you can still wear the dress, but you're just going to need to wear more. That I can understand doing. To say that you're going to do that to avoid a power struggle, I don't know if it's the wording or my old school style that I have a problem with that. When your child is misbehaving, take a few moments to consider preventative methods that you can take. What is triggering the behavior? Is there any way some of your child's requests could be met? Is there anything you can do in the future to avoid such outbursts? If you feel overwhelmed, you should try to consult a child psychologist about ways to modify your child's behavior. Do you really need to see a child psychologist to modify spoiled behavior? Okay, here's another suggestion. How about a conversation before going into the store? If you show you're behind, I'll beat it. Basically, is the conversation. Tell me where the problem is with that. I see nothing wrong with that at all. Tell me where the problem is. You're going to be assessing deeper issues. Come on. Seriously? In which community? Where do they do that at? Tell me. So they say try to understand the root of bad behavior. You can establish appropriate boundaries and discipline if you don't understand why your child is behaving poorly. Work to try to get inside your child's head and understand the roots of the behavior. Cool. I can work with that. When your child is upset, work to connect with them on an emotional level. Say something like, it seems like you're feeling very angry about this. Why is that? First of all, when you're upset, do you want anybody talking to you like that? Do you want to be having a conversation with anybody when you're upset? Seriously. There may be reasons you did not think that a child is acting out. Discovering that reason can help you figure out how to better deal with the situation in the moment. For example, if your child cries every night when you put them to bed, your child may be scared of the dark. They may also have seen something on television that was frightening. So rather than scolding the child the next time you have to put them to bed, take a few minutes to walk through your child's fears or talk through them and reassure them that they're safe in the home. Alright. When it comes to things like that, I can work with that. But that fear of the dark would have developed from something. My question is, what is that thing? And then that now becomes a point, in my opinion, that you address. You know, the child may be acting out for some reason and you don't know what that reason is. Listen, we need to work this out right now, but this acting out thing, that's not going to happen. No. That's not how it works. And some children, it doesn't really matter how much you tell them that they're safe in the home. If they're afraid, they're afraid. Because something is reinforcing that fear. Alright, so raising a child is about teaching positive behaviors, right? And not just discouraging negative ones. Potato, potato. One of the most important things you can teach a child is empathy. I get that. I agree. When your child is misbehaving, talk to them about why their behavior is hurtful to others. If your child has behaved poorly, talk about that behavior and why it hurt another person. For example, say your child stole another student's pencil at lunch and then broke it. Sit the child down and say, I know the bonnet pencil you got last Easter was important to you. Or a Superman pencil or whichever pencil. How would you feel if someone had taken that from you without asking? Let's say they didn't get a pencil, they got something else. Use that as an example. And then allow the child to answer. Teaching a child to relate to another person is a groundwork for empathy. Here's the thing with some of these children. You treat them like they're adults and they will feel like they don't have to answer. Because they're an adult. And they don't have to answer if they don't want to. See how that works? Am I wrong in this? Where are my psychologists and clinical social workers at? Where are they right now? Because I need some people to tell me, Stu, yeah, that's old thinking. This is what studies have shown, blah, blah, blah. Because I know I'm going to have to go back and find these other studies so that I can present them. But we can avoid all that by having some of you guys just say X, Y, Z, P, Q, R, you know. Once your child has stopped to consider the other person's point of view, then have your child apologize. Many people force children to apologize as a ritual, and the child learns to do little other than mimic back what the adult said. However, making your child consider the reason for the apology now encourages empathetic thinking. Listen, some of these kids, wee. Yeah, that's all I can say. Yes, you tell them to apologize and they go, I'm sorry. Or, I apologize. And you ask them for what? And you have this conversation about why it is that what they did was hurtful and why they shouldn't do it and they wouldn't like it done to them, blah, 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 go the whole 9 yards. I get it. But, if that child really doesn't understand the basics of life, you do unto others as you would like them to do unto you, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's the same thing. How would you feel if? But it goes further than that. The consequence to your action is XYZ. You follow through on it. I agree. Cool, I agree with all of that. But having this conversation and this passive method of or approach, and when the child is an adult, they don't get a passive approach from the authorities, or they don't get a passive approach from an employer, then you have failed as a child. I mean, as a parent. I could be wrong. But yes, that's exactly how I feel about it. So provide an example of appropriate behavior. They say modeling is one of the best ways to teach children how to behave appropriately. Try to behave like the person you want your child to grow up to be. Practice good manners. Be kind to others. Stay calm during trying situations. Talk about your emotions openly and show your child how to deal with things like sadness, anger, and other negative feelings in a manner that's constructive and appropriate. What if you don't know how? Oh, then you have to go learn. Well, in the same way the child has to go learn too. That's why therapy is important. Go see a therapist. Don't make assumptions. If your child or a child you are working with starts acting out, don't assume about their life. Don't assume a child is just disrespectful. Take time to talk with them to find out the real source of the problem. I could do that. I can agree with that. The difficult thing about making assumptions is that they cause you to treat the child in a different way. So if you assume the child is just being moody, you may not respond with as much love. If you think the child is dealing with deeper issues, then you may be tempted to exercise the behavior. Exercise some empathy. Try to stay consistent with your consequences and your actions when a child acts up. But learn from that child what they are feeling and why. The power struggle is something you want to avoid. And it exists because two people are battling over who has the power over the other. Listen, as an adult, is not to say that I am dominant over you, but I'm responsible for you as a child. With that, you need to understand that what I say is important to what you do and to your safety. So why does there need to be a power struggle? I don't get it. And I probably never will get it. But they say show the child that the two of you can handle a problem without getting into a defiant power struggle. Sit the child down and try to talk about what is going on and how the two of you can work together to fix it. If the child is still acting disrespectful and refuses to engage in a mature conversation, there we go again. You can't have a child have a mature conversation. A child's a child. Let the child be a child. Give the child time to cool off and don't engage in another argument. It's not an argument. That child talking back, it's not an argument. It becomes disrespect. Children crave discipline. They test the waters to see if you love them enough to keep them safe. I don't know where they learn that, but it's true. They do. But at some point, they're going to have to stop testing the water. At some point, they're going to have to recognize, okay, yeah, this is legit. I don't need to test it anymore. Outside of that, then this child is crazy. Because you do something over and over again, expecting to get a different result, then you're kind of crazy. Don't let a child manipulate you. Children will often try to negotiate with you or manipulate you to get what they want. But make sure you stand firm while remaining calm. Okay, so isn't that what I've been saying all this time? Children are going to manipulate you. Duh. So when they're doing their little antics, that's not a form of manipulation because they want their way? And you must treat them like adults so they can manipulate you even more? How does that work? If you want your child to behave better, using positive reinforcement can help. Praise your child for small changes in behavior. This can help them learn what behaviors are appropriate. So can a spanking. So all of a sudden spankings become negative. But if it changes a behavior that is inappropriate and encourages a desired behavior, isn't that a good thing? So the argument is, okay, so you're going to do a bad thing to get a good response. What makes it a bad thing? You're not murdering the child. It's a spanking. Okay. Maybe I need to leave that one alone. I'm going to need some therapy tonight. I'm going to need some therapy tonight. Musical therapy coming up in just a few minutes. Thanks to JTMC for sponsoring this segment. We have rolled into the Wake Up and Live segment, courtesy of Sir Rockwell and the Wake Up and Live show on rockthebox.net every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 7 a.m. on Wednesdays and Fridays. They go until midday and talk. On Wednesdays, it's all about what is reggae music, and on Fridays, it's the RDB Top 10 that takes you up until midday. Almost at midnight. Midday. Alright, so yes, reinforce positive behavior. Praise your child for small changes in behavior because this can help them learn what behaviors are appropriate. Focus on the behaviors you want to change. As an example, say your child frequently interrupts others. Explain why this behavior is negative and then watch for small changes. Many parents set the bar too high and expect a child to change completely overnight. Instead, be on the lookout for small changes. Listen. When I was a child, I was told one time when I made that mistake. I never did it again. Come on. You think today I'm going to change? That's a part of me today. I say excuse me or I wait. If it's an emergency, then I'll interrupt and beg forgiveness later on. But come on. Alright. Musical therapy time. That's it. I'm done. 24 minutes at the top of the hour. 24 minutes before we're done for the week. This is it. Remember, tomorrow on the Wake Up and Live show is the drive-by. Yeah, round about 10:15, 10:20 thereabouts. I go into the RDB studio and, Rockwell, me, I guess that formula could only spell trouble. Hey. 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 Reaching out to all the bad ones. She's so bad, she good. Marshall Turner flavors. If I ever get your body, girl, I feel like I win a medal. You are the champion. This is she bad remix. Take it from you. No. Love it like between islands in Dago. The way she whine. The way she whine. The way she bang. She did blow my mind. The way she bounce, yeah. She did make me go low. The way she did roll, yeah. Look, she bad. She shake out that one body, yeah, bad. Badang. Me plus Rockwell equal trouble. When she walk back down, it's the same damn motion. I don't know what you're talking about. I swear to God I can't deny you. Sweet love is she give me. Roller coaster. Now you just got my medulla. Why
cheaper than Rihanna. She better than Diana. She dey make me go low. The way she dey roll. Lord, she bad, she bad, she bad. She won't bad, so good and she bad, she bad. She walk out the road and you know that the girl lay back. When she walk back down, it's the same damn motion. Baby, don't leave me. Oh yeah, don't leave me.
Zone of Conscience. It's called Turn Me On.
Turn me on, 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 turn me on. Girl, when you wind up your body, I just gotta wind on you. It makes me feel so happy just to stand behind you, oh baby. I just wanna know, did you come in there alone? Baby, let me know so I could get up in your zone. Hey girl, you're so sexual, make everyone else say what a sexy girl. And everything you say and everywhere you move and everything you do. Turn me on, 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 turn me on.
Perfect body with a perfect smile. Perfect body with a perfect smile. Perfect body with a perfect smile. You're deaf. My girl, you a champion. Bubble like a bubble for a cause.
This is Charlie Black.
Bubble for a cause.
You're perfect.
You me eye pass, girl, you make me know sir. Don't give a false.
Yeah, I live on the dark side, 441.
You give like a Santa Claus. Girl, your waistline I got through me no pass. My song I play on a low rolls. Girl, your skin clean. Girl, your
He lives on the bright side
yes, my son, you
and makes it dark.
are my choice. Baby, you're perfect. You're perfect. You're perfect to me. Yeah, you're perfect. You're perfect. You're perfect. Me no know if your boyfriend not tell you, but me I tell you right now. You're perfect. You're perfect. You're perfect to me. If your man not tell you the things, then baby, then me they are for you. Right now you have my attention, my girl. If I know music, then I do. Girl, come wind up your body and whisper in my ears later what you want to do. Later on, me need you to come assist me. Help me sweat out me flow. Can your skin clean? Can you smell nice? Your smile so beautiful. You are my choice. Baby, you're perfect. You're perfect. You're perfect to me. Yeah, you're perfect. You're perfect. You're perfect. Baby, you're perfect. You're perfect. You're perfect to me. Yeah, you're perfect. You're perfect. You're perfect. Me no know if your boyfriend not tell you, but me I tell you right now. You're perfect. You're perfect. You're perfect to me. My girl, you a champion. Bubble like a bubble for a cause. Bubble for a cause, girl. Bubble for a cause. When you a bubble pine, you me eye pass, girl. You make me know sir. Don't give a false. Girl, your lips them melting like hearts. You bring your gift like a Santa Claus. Girl, your waistline I got through me no pass. My song I play on a low rolls. Girl, your skin clean. Girl, you smell nice. Your smile so beautiful. You are my choice.
Loving you so. Never will I ever let you go. Girl, I can't imagine living without you. 'Cause when you're not near,
I tell you, it's that kind of vibe tonight, you know. I need a lot of therapy. 18 minutes to the top of the hour. This is Kim Marley.
around you, and I can't help but
It's
stay
called Angel.
under your spell. I'm complete now. I found you. There's no mountain too steep. If it's my all, I will give it. There's no ocean too deep. When I'm holding you close, girl, my heart skip a beat, and the taste of your lips lifts me off of my feet. my team rolling. Money and bricks to be loading. Hennessy up up girl shaking. Push me
Son of Jeff Ross.
Boy, I want a girl in a rating. Rum breed grease.
It's called All Night.
And I know sweet spraying. Boy, choking and skating. Cause we party all night. We can do that all night. We can do that all night. Party all night. We can do that all night. We can do that all night. Party all night. We can do that all night. We can do that all night. Party all night. We can do that.
Yeah, we're not gonna party all night tonight.
Do that all night, yo. I'm not DMX, so what you want from my brother? Come and make me squeeze your jaw, little mama. I can't get it fat and your bumper getting bigger. She like that when you're rough cause I was born a gorilla. She said that I'm sweet like I was born in vanilla. She wanted a treat, saying the car would be better. She has a 22 where she came from America. She wanna bust her head and a leather. Party all night, we can do that all night. We can do that all night. Party all night, we can do that all night. We can do that all night. Party all night, we can do that all night. We can do that all night. Party all night, we can do that all night. We can do that all night.
I'll surrender my will, this time it's real. I'm done with the young girl foolishness. Wanna be your die-hard riding queen, yeah, yeah. I'm on board to follow you, be a number one fan, not right up on your back. Tell me hold on tight, I never let go, I'll be your lady. Steer this wheel, I'll trust in you, be a number one fan, not right up on your back. Tell me hold on tight, I never let go, I'll be your lady. So nobody can say this is a fleeting.
This is the sound of Christina Alicia. It's called Be Your Lady.
Call me any of all the things I've seen and places I've been one stop and tell you this one thing. You caught my attention, rather you stop me in my sin. I'll surrender my will, this time it's real. I'm done with the young girl foolishness. Wanna be your die-hard riding queen, yeah, yeah. I'm on board to follow you, be a number one fan, not right up on your back. Tell me hold on tight, I never let go, I'll be your lady. Steer this wheel, I'll trust in you, be a number one fan, not right up on your back. Tell me hold on tight, I never let go, I'll be your lady. So nobody can say this is a fleeting thing. This love I got stay through thick and thin. In the ups and the downs, just call me any, yeah, yeah. All you I gotta see is stability, and the only thing that's flipping in is the DJ and this your rhythm in. And my heart going boom boom rhythm in. I'm on board to follow you, be a number one fan, not right up on your back. Tell me hold on tight, I never let go, I'll be your lady. Steer this wheel, I'll trust in you, be a number one fan, not right up on your back. Tell me hold on tight, I never let go, I'll be your lady. I'll follow you, be a number one fan, not right up on your back. No question asked, yeah. I'll follow you, be a number one fan, not right up on your back. No questions asked, this queen I'm gonna ride with you forever. All the things I've seen and places I've been, wanna stop and tell you this one thing. You caught my attention, or rather you stop me in my sin. I surrender my will, this time it's real. I'm done with the young girl foolishness. Wanna be your die-hard riding queen, yeah, yeah. I'm on board to follow you, be a number one fan, not right up on your back. Tell me hold on tight, I never let go, I'll be your lady. Steer this wheel, I'll trust in you, be a number one fan, not right up on your back. Tell me hold on tight, I never.
Still watching the time, I listen to the divine and the cry of my rhyme. I got to stay on my grind, steady holding the line, not get left behind. Cause what is yours, and what is mine, is mine. Yo, J will watching the scene, and I'll be still loyal to the team. Stay away from them.
The son of J Will,
Do you know what I mean?
Raps and Kush,
So, walk through the valley of death.
Pressure Bus Pipe.
Fear no evil. No,
The track is called Fear Not. 10 minutes on top of the hour.
walk through the valley of death. No, I fear no evil. No, I fear no evil. We'll have time for bad mind people.
Jah is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leadeth me to righteousness that I dance. Most I protect I every step and stance. Tired to hear my people are rave and rant. People not like you, it's so evident. Fighting your brother, it makes no sense. Jah give I days of length. Most I protect I from heaven sent.
Hey, walk through the valley of death. evil. We don't have time for bad mind people. So many praises to God, that's what we're giving. Keep on living my life, that's what we're doing. Burn Babylon and the things when they're bringing. Love the ghetto youth and that business and killing.
Make some money from your willing. Stop kill your brother for the dollars and shilling. Go to school, learn a trade or skilling. You shot for life, are you willing?
Hey, don't walk through the valley of death. No, I fear no evil. No, I fear no evil. We don't have time for bad mind people. Hey, don't walk through the valley of death. No, I fear no evil. No, I fear no evil.
What a feeling, yeah. What a feeling.
This is the sound of the homegrown man himself,
She look me right in my eye and
G. Cole.
she giving me the hot sexy look. Long time she away from me, I go on a don't time. She giving me the hot sexy look.
This one is called Hot Sexy Love.
Me about time. She giving me the hot sexy look. Ready for me pick her up because tonight is our fun time.
9 minutes to the top of the hour.
Feel love, then hot sexy love. Whatever she had for me tonight, she reveal it. She giving me that hot sexy look. She said tonight she had the doctor, she giving me healing. She giving me that hot sexy look. Now she giving me the loving from the floor to the ceiling. She giving me that hot sexy look. She tell me she no bother stop because she loving the feeling. She giving me that hot sexy love. Then hot sexy love. Been so long since I've known you. That's what she said. Been wanting to show you this side of me. You have always been taken. I wait patiently, but now I'm tired of waiting. I just wanna see. I just wanna see. She look me right in my eye and tell me she this a fun time. She giving me that hot sexy look. Long time she away from me, I go on a don't time. She giving me that hot sexy look. Tell her say me have a woman and she tell me about time. She giving me that hot sexy look. Ready for me pick her up because tonight is our fun time. She giving me that hot sexy look. Well, let me tell you about a pretty young
Kevin,
She was looking for a place to vacation. Me say my home is a great destination. I said,
This is the sound of Korik.
take that vacation with someone like me. I know the perfect place you can be free, baby.
Thank you very much for 41. Your contribution is greatly appreciated.
Hey, where the summer sun is always shining, happy people always smiling. You'll see. Let's do it in Jamaica. Hey, the nicest place to get away.
Let us see, the festival competition is just weeks away.
Let's do it in Jamaica.
This is Korik's entry.
Feel free to get.
Let's do it in Jamaica.
I just relax and be lazy.
She smiles.
Whatever you want, whatever you need, it's alright with me. Even if you want to try on the trees, baby. Let's do it in Jamaica, hey, where the summer sun is always shining.
How about it?
People always smiling, you'll see. Let's do it in Jamaica, hey, perfect place to get away. And we have summer every day.
6 minutes to the top of the hour.
Let's do it in Jamaica. If you feel like party with me, let me make it real easy. You just need to get up and shake off your troubles and smile with me. Relax for a while with me. Enjoy the island breeze, baby. Let's do it in Jamaica, hey, where the summer sun is always shining. Happy people always smiling. You'll see. Let's do it in Jamaica, hey, the nicest place to get away. And we have summer every day. Trust me. Let's do it in Jamaica.
This is the sound of Dangling.
Here smells fresh.
6 minutes to go.
Pleasure.
Made that 5.
No longer myself. 'cause you're my
The
treasure.
track is called This Lifetime.
Precious and gold. Girl, I want you to know you're the melody to the soul of my life.
I want to thank you each and everyone for logging on, for tuning in, for contributing to this show. Not just tonight, but throughout this week.
This lifetime won't be enough to give you all this love.
I want to remind you to look out for members of your community this weekend, or the remainder of this week.
Won't be enough to love you.
And your community is not just a development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. So whether you walk, ride, or drive, those that you pass on the bus, on the plane, on the boat, on the train, these are all your neighbors. Do something nice for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something nice for you tomorrow. And of course, I want to encourage you to, although I encourage you to be on your worst behavior earlier, I want to encourage you to be good. But if you can't be good at it. My name is DJ Kevin Stew, and this is how I like to do it to you, for you, and with you. Every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night, 10 to midnight Eastern time. Remember to catch Sir Rockwell tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. I'll be passing by in the drive-by around about 10:20. Yeah, I want to love you too.
After these days,
Romain clearly sees in you what I saw and see.
it is all for you.
The track is called Now. This is Romain Virgo.
Girl, they must have been here before. Feels like deja vu. Since your man is not here tonight, I'm gonna take my chances.
Daring, isn't he?
Be by your side. I'm gonna take advantage. Let's do it again. Somehow, 'cause you are my girl. Friend now, let's do it again. Somehow, 'cause you are my girl. Friend.
You know, after one time, you become the girlfriend. I don't know what you put on him, boy. But this is how I bounce out of here right now. For those of you that still have some,
I'll take you home.
happy hump day to you.
A place where it's nice and quiet.
Wink, wink.
Body to body, I'll make you happy. You'll never be sorry. You won't be sad and blue. You'll wanna do it again. Somehow, 'cause you are my girl. Friend now, we'll do it again. Somehow, 'cause you are my girl. Friend now.
moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.